Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. Today is day one of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. And today's sketch for day one was created by Eve McNee. And this is series 18. And so I was drawn to the design of the chevrons that she has in her sketch. And I did turn the sketch so it gave more motion to my layout here that you will see eventually when we get to that part here. So um, that was the main piece that I really liked about the sketch was the chevrons and how I could show some kind of movement within my layout. So this layout is primarily created with stash. It's this piece of paper that I'm working with right now, that pinky purpley colored one. It was actually like a single sided from a very old paper pad that a friend of mine gave me. So I don't even know where it was from. And then I've got a few pieces from Simple Stories. I think it was the Here and Now collection, the blue with the little crosses on it. And then the green background, that is a super, super old My Mind's Eye. I think it was maybe one of their original collections. Um, Something asparagus. And I know they re released with that wild asparagus with that same name, um, before they stopped making scrapbook collections. But this was actually from the original time that they released that collection. So here you can see that I actually created these very large chevrons on my Cricut machine. I just took a square and two squares and cut it in half, and then I did cut out part of it and within my machine to actually just cut the chevrons. So I did design that myself. It was pretty easy to create, and just using the slice function with two squares. And so here I'm using some of the scraps from my cut file here to map my photos. And what I'm documenting today is the day my daughter moved out to move in with her boyfriend. And so I have one picture of them taking a couch from the basement that they carried up. They were getting ready to carry it up the stairs themselves. And then the other picture is them loading a mattress into the back of the U-Haul. And then I do have a third picture, which was a picture of our weather app. So we live in Iowa, and this was actually back in late February. And I believe, yes, I can see the temperature there on the small picture there on the right. That I'm starting to uncover right now. And it says that the temperature was 0 that day, and that didn't even take into effect the wind chill. It was so cold, and we tried to talk them out of moving this weekend, but they were just very insistent on starting their move in life together. And so we said, that's fine, we'll pay for the U-Haul, but you are on your own moving, that we are too old to move people in that kind of weather. So they were on their own getting all the stuff into the U-Haul and back out of the U-Haul once they got to his place. So there you have it. So, but I didn't really want to put that weather picture out in the open as part of the design. I just wanted it part of the journaling on the back of that I will basically tell the story that it was really cold and what I just said. So I do decide to make a pocket that I put the pictures on here, and then I think I decide that I'm just going to um, basically fussy cut around the pictures specifically and just have a mat around each of the wonky sides, which I could have just matted each one of them separately, but I didn't know exactly how I wanted it to be. And so then I will create a pocket to put the weather picture in behind. And that's what I'm doing here, that I'm trying to figure out, what am I doing? Oh, I think I cut it, yeah. I cut it weird when I was trimming off, and so I was just kind of filling in, how I cut it really wonky. But since this was super, super thin paper, that you can't even tell that I cut it funny. So here I'm using some of the other piece of green paper that I had that wasn't part of the background, and cutting it to make a pocket here. So, and this one I do believe, no, I think I cut this one down funny too. But I think I do it the correct way because it was taking up too much space, and I wanted to see the chevrons uh, more than what I was getting with these two large photos at the bottom. So I did do the same kind of cut, but I did a better job this time of stopping and making it go exactly around each of the photos. So once I get that done, that I do measure out how much space I need for the pocket of that picture. And I think I hold it up here close here in a little bit. I do cover up the naughty word on the picture that I have an app. It's called What the Forecast, and you can actually make settings on it to give you funny sayings about what the weather is that day. And when it's really cold like this in the wintertime, it's pretty funny that it throws out some pretty bad words because it's so freaking cold. And yeah, so I did have a picture on the back too. So, funny story about this picture as well, that as she was cleaning out her room and the furniture and things that they did leave behind in her room, her final gift to me was this tray of dirty dishes that had been left in her room for probably some time. And I will be honest that I'm sure that some of those dishes probably just went straight into the garbage, and I salvaged what I could. So, any of you with teenagers, adult teenagers, know what I'm talking about. So, I just thought it would be funny to document that as well, that she has left me one last gift. And I am happy to report that, yeah, she calls me and talks about, yeah, I just did the dishes, and when his nieces and nephews are over visiting, that she'll complain about them not bringing their dishes out to the kitchen and things like that. So, it's kind of funny how she has already, in such a short amount of time, said a lot of things that I said to her. So, I guess she was listening. Anyway, um, yeah, so I'm just getting those pictures. I created a tag, used my We Are punch to do the corners to make the tag, and then now I just found some matching ribbon from my ribbon stash, and I'm just going to use some of the cream twine that I have and tie a bow around that so I don't have so much bulk by tying a bow or a knot within that thicker ribbon. And so here you can see I'm using my thin strips of foam adhesive to create a little pocket here that can easily pull that tag in and out. And then the rest of it, thinking I probably use, yep, I'm reaching for my larger pieces of craft foam. So they are all the same height when I put it on my layout here. So once I get this on, we're going to start working on a title and some embellishments. So the title, these are super old from my stash. These are Rusty Pickle. If any of you remember that, that company, that it has been gone for quite some time. And I've been trying to figure out words that I can make with some of these letters, and I did finally come up with moving out. I didn't have any lowercase O's, so I did have to Frankenstein that one, and it looks like I used maybe a G, could be what I have there. And I did have an uppercase O, so I think I had everything but, oh, maybe it was a Q. I don't know, whatever letter it was that I did Frankenstein that and try and make it look as much as I could. And I had an uppercase V, and so that one was easy. I just had to cut that down. Looks like I did a J for the I, and I think I had everything else. So I was looking, I think I was maybe looking for an exclamation point, and there was not one. So I just went with that. And so here I'm, while I was pulling those off, I was using my trick of using an old clear sticker sheet from old product. And that way I can stick all my letters on, check the spacing, and know that any letters that I pull out that they are going to fit where I want them to, instead of pulling them off and on and off and on while I'm figuring that all out. So there I have my title. I didn't stick them down all the way because I wanted to slip the tops of the M and the O on the very bottom of the photo block here. So there you can see the tag goes in very easily. And since it comes out from the top, you can reach down and pull it out, since it'll be in a top loading 12 by 12 page protector. And so now you can see that I had previously gone through some of my stash and found some things that I thought would work to create some clusters. And I felt that this one up here kind of needed a base to help just weigh it down. What am I trying to say? The words just left me, but just to give me a base to start the cluster on. And so there you can see the basic 3 clusters that I have. This one off to the left of the title, and I'm just kind of adding some layers in there, this word strip to the bottom underneath my title. And here finally I get this cluster on up here. And the final one is the one up in the upper right of these 2 arrows just pointing down. And I think those were Vicki Boutin chipboard. And add this little heart. I had that 3rd heart there, and I wanted to try and get it on somewhere, so I did just ended up putting it in that one where the other ones are. And so my final bit that I pull out here, I'm still trying to use up some of these super old enamel dots, and so I do add several of these around the page to finish it off. And so if you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave those down below. Since this is the beginning of the series for the sketches, 30 Days of Sketches, this is series 18, there will be a playlist listed down below. I will have close-up pictures of my layout here coming up when I'm finished putting my enamel dots on. I will have links down below as well for my Pinterest as well as my Instagram accounts, and you can go find those close-up pictures in those locations as well. And that is going to wrap things up. So thank you for stopping by. And if you're not already a subscriber, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel. And if you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Bye.